everybody, welcome back to Disco Elysium, the final video. I have spent all day working on this, recording this, and the first 30 minutes are bust. As you can see, they're in 2x speed. I'm not going to read through everything. We talked to this guy, we're like, who the fuck are you? He's like, I'm a person. This is my son. And we're looking at this building. Yep, that's basically all he says. And, yep. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. You can probably tell in my voice that it's a little hoarse. And on top of, like, being a little hoarse, I thought putting eating cold watermelon would help it feel better. Which it kind of did, except I'm like this much allergic to it, so my mouth being all scratchy, and then putting watermelon in it, and now it's not feeling very good. I'm a dummy, I know. I don't even know what this guy was talking about. Like, it was just so bleh. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to like pause it and stuff, you could definitely read through it yourself. I'm just here to like give you the rundown. We're gonna watch through this together. It's only on 2x speed, so you could slow it down very easily. I burped. Power box charges nothing now, it's empty. Yep. Alright, so saving. Oh shit, I forgot to edit a part out of this. That's okay, I'll do it in a minute. Because so we check out this wall, and after we check out the wall, we look inside, I guess. Yeah, so I save scummed something. Yeah, we think Ruby might be in there. Kim's like, she could be anywhere, I don't know. Then I save scummed this Shivers task. There we go. Sorry, this is so unprofessional, but like, I'm not sure what else to do. I was watching a vlog, so I was all tangled up. That's why it took me so long. You can't see me because I've put myself over myself, which is funny. But this is only gonna happen for the like first like 16 minutes, less than that definitely, because it was only for like 30 to 34 minutes that until I realized that I'd messed up with the mic, so it's on 2x speed, and then there's still like a little bit of safe scumming I've got to clip out here and there that I forgot to do before I started to record this part. I'm sorry, I'm really tired. Oh, there was a very funny thing that did happen here. So we're talking about if she could be in there or not, or if we should just look through everything else. And Kim's like, yeah, basically, we're just gonna have to look at everything, all of the things. We're gonna have to find her somewhere, and then we get a second Shivers task. So we save scum it again. See ya in a minute. There we go. I was watching a video again. Don't mind me. So it can take me another second. Sorry. We feel wind blowing, and then we're like, oh, she must be inside this building in the basement. We'll go through the roof. I knew there was a way to get in there another way, but I didn't know how, and I was like, whatever, the roof is right in front of me. So this is where the funny thing is. Kim's like, we're like, okay, let's climb the ladder. Kim's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm wanting to live till I'm old. So we save. And he's like, yeah, you could do this yourself. Kim's like, yeah, no, that looks dangerous. And we're like, yeah, you're right. It does look dangerous. Uh, ah, my hair got stuck. So now we have to, like, get on the ladder in the first place. Which, you can't tell from the image of the game, but it's actually 3 meters high. We have to jump off the bench. And then we were like, hey, what if we teleported? And Kim was like, you can't teleport. And I was like, come on, Kim, why not? And he was like, what? And we're like, doesn't hurt to try. And he's like, yeah, it does. So we teleport. Oh my god, sorry. I'm like exhausted. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Holy shit. I've been doing this since 3. It's 10:30. Oh my god. The video is not that long. Here we are. We did it, Kim. We teleported. And he's like, I just saw you climb up the ladder. What the fuck are you talking about, you crazy person? And we're like, yeah, no, we did it. We definitely did it. And he was like, oh my god. Stop. Just get me in the building. So that's what we do. We go and we wander around and let Kim in. Oh, okay. There we go. Kim, he's let in. Now we're gonna go do wandering around stuff. He was like, yeah, there's a direct hatch to the basement. We're like, oh. Oh. Yeah, I knew that was somewhere, but I didn't want to go look for it. I'm pretty done with this series. Like, it's good, but like also I'm just pretty done. Basically it's dusty and nobody's been here for a while. We got this hat. It's a fine hat. Dust and spider webs. Yep. We were checking to see if you could shoot out of this embrasure, but no. We talk about that, yeah, he could have used the hideout, but probably not. Doesn't seem like anyone's been here, and that's not a good, like, you can't even see the whirling, so, we dusted off this portrait because we're nice. So, we just pushed the dust off for him, and we left it at that because I didn't care to find out more information, not gonna lie. It was unimportant. Something in the air and unnatural buzzing. Yeah, that becomes something, I guess, kind of. Sorry. Sorry. Shut up, Discord. God damn. Okay. There are footprints from Ruby, where the right sole is worn down a lot more than the other side. I don't know what I expected Ruby to look like, but I was kind of surprised by the way she looks. She looks very rough. She looks a lot more rough than I thought. I hope that's not rude, because I don't mean it in a rude way. We were talking about how we should have been sneaking this whole time. And we didn't sneak, and it was probably regrettable. Look, money! And more money! Just for me. There we go. Found Ruby. She's blasting us with this static stuff. That's rough, right? 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. Yeah, she's like, hey, I bet you're pretty uncomfortable. You can kind of hear the audio still, maybe, possibly. Probably not. Hopefully not, because it's actually quite annoying. The sound of the static. I mean, very soon I will realize that the freaking audio wasn't correct. I can still kind of understand what she's saying. Doesn't emit pale. We just hear some random shit. Poor Kim. You know, they're thrashing around like this, and God, I can't remember it. Oh, there we go. That was it. Alright. Yep. Sorry again. Bye. Why? Ah! I've just recorded 30 minutes without a mic. I hate everything. I'm so mad. Whatever. I'll deal with it later. Eyes closed, the lieutenant is doubled over. He's still alive and breathing.
The pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pail more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pail. Literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale. People lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
He gestures towards something with great effort.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you might be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
It's funny that they're just casually having this conversation, but also, like, look at how writhing in pain they are. She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose. What is this goddamn pail, anyway?
It's the end of the world.
How did you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
She nods towards her torture device.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, way beyond.
She studies her death ray, and the law officials trapped in it. Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like walking out of a very confusing dream.
Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. Seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
This is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey. Please, could you turn it down so I can ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Damn this.
The lieutenant clutches his head, grimacing.
God damn it.
She regards you and Kim with sudden
Fine.
sympathy.
If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
She steps reluctantly out of the shadows. The pain lessens. The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. There's only... I can't access my bag right now. Okay, there's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep distracted enough, for long enough, maybe. How did you know we were coming? I heard you in the passages. I've been preparing for quite a while. By hiding bullets under floorboards? You found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised. She didn't rat you out, by the way. Isabel, the washerwoman. So nice. She smiles a little smile. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back. Why hide the bullet, though? This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies. That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit. Did you shoot Lily? No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, she hesitates. He wouldn't have broken first. You're right. Clausier was first to share her suspicions. Oh, She smiled sadly. I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known it. I was on the coast. How did you find me? Titus told me it took some convincing. Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass, and those guys liked me. I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like, how the fuck do the rest of you get by? Does she mean that she's not a person whom other people like? Wait, wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? It's not personal. I opened them up. I did, didn't I? And now you've come for me, she scoffs, but fuck them all the same. I did by asking questions, and I have some for you. Like what? She adjusts her grip on her gun. I already told you I didn't do it. A strong moral compass. She wants the opportunity to make a case for herself. Would you say Lily was a likable person? I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. Did you feel protective of the Union? Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pine sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here. I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I don't think she's perjuring herself. You don't feel sympathy for mercs? It's hard work. Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. I have other questions. Do you have an alibi for when Lily was shot? Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope you at least bothered to impress that upon you. There were 10 minutes they couldn't account for. You mean the length of a toilet break? That couldn't have been enough time. Our investigation, wince from the pain, has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder. Wow, now I'm curious. Please explain. Play pinball much? No, not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in the Dardane. Haven't been in low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why? There are some mysterious pinball machines in some pretty mysterious rooms in the Whirling. Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries. Wait, what kind of mysteries are you interested in then? Not murder mysteries either, if that's what you're thinking. She looks you in the eye impassively, making it clear she's not planning to comment on the matter further. Okay, never mind mysteries. There's a secret way from the Whirling bar to the roof. Don't know it, but also, she frowns, studying your face, evaluating your competence as a police officer. The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs. She has a point there. No one mentioned. The pain stops him from finishing the sentence. You have a gun? And? Where did you get it? The gun store. What gun store? Trigger Happy Jacks. Really? Trigger? What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal. I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere? Sure don't. A breech loader? No. This is such a wipeout. Do you collect guns? Maybe old rifles? No, they're not too practical to break often. Once there's other evidence I want to talk to you about, conclude. Do you like to hang out on rooftops? Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Classier's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. What's so great about her antenna? It's very powerful. I use it to tune an RCM frequency. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival. Come in? Who's coming in? I'm not talking to you. Is that the only reason you hung out on roof? The view's pretty bomb too, but you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah, along with Classier. So you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof? Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot Had to have come from afar. You're running drugs for the Union. I've been through your lorry. She shakes her head slowly. So Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over, too. Never trust a musician. Maybe twist the knife, just in case. Make her more desperate. No, I wouldn't do Tommy dirty like that. No, he didn't. I found my own way in. Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking? A bitter smile. You're a criminal. I can't trust anything you say. She scoffs. That's your prerogative. You had a financial incentive to kill the merc. Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union. The lieutenant is unable to articulate his question. She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later. She turns the knob down just a millimeter, then continues. I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the real dirty work myself. This gun, she glances at it, has only been used for self-defense against serious scum. But you're threatening us with it. Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum, she responds, holding your gaze. Okay, let's take a step back. Does this get any better? Nudged it during drug talk? Sure. Who killed the merc if it wasn't you? How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio. Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez. Police radio, you've been following the case? Who hasn't, she shrugs. You know, I can still see him there, in Class A's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he had been dead for a good long while. What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version. She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity. It's okay. We just want to hang. I feel like Squidward. He struggles to finish the sentence. Alright, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Classier comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves, so I grab a seat next to her. Classier said you knew something was wrong immediately. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her, but no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah. You made it look like he'd been hanged. How'd you manage to come up with a plan so quickly? What? No, faking a lynching was her idea. Her idea? Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. Huh. You can see it. Her lips, though still white, don't seem to tremble as much anymore. She moves with focus and deliberation. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so we could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy boys. So she lied to you about that too. Showerhead, resourceful. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed. Do you think she killed Lely herself? As I keep telling you cops, I didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing. But, even if this is true, the lieutenant forces himself to finish the sentence. Weren't you worried this lynching might lead to war? She purses her lips. The thought crossed my mind, but the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going, she doesn't want to talk about this. But not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt. She shrugs. Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. If you didn't kill him, why hide? I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by goddamn La Puta Madre agent. So, this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop. What? What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent? She looks at you quizzically. Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peony? His human can opener. My health. Stop. That's mine. Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell, and why me, you hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded. Bullshit, you're trying to wince grotesquely. Throw me off. No one says that. Oh, yes, they do. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you? If she knows that about you, she must know your real name, too. Tell me, what's my name? If you know that about me, you must know my name. Harry Dubois, she replies quickly. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and the funny tie, Agent La Puta Madre. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you. I'm no one's agent. I don't even know who La Puta Madre is. Right, sure. You don't know. Could you tell me about it? I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough. What did you do to this Madre anyway? You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? She pauses, and now I have Harry can opener in my lair. Fucking Titus. Wait, one thing possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something. When I came to town, was there anyone with me? Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them, anyway? Who was in this squad? Well, it wasn't this... What? Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. Oh, okay, I see. She nods towards the lieutenant. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guy looked pretty buff. The lady wasn't bad either. What else can you tell me? One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had brooding something or other about him. And the woman was carrying the woman was the only one in I'm having a hard time here. The woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. She narrows her eyes. That sound about right? No idea what these people are, literally. Who these people are, literally. No, that doesn't ring any bells. Well, this has been a great talk, really, but I think I'm going to hit the road now. What about the bunker next door? Do you know about the bunker next door? What bunker? The communist hideout back there. I don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to. Her voice trails off into the white noise in your head. It feels like an aneurysm approaching. Ew. Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer. Momentary window of clarity. Alright, fingers crossed. Haha, bitch. Get it, get it, get it. I thought he was just gonna chuck a tool at it. Because, like, you get +1 for having a tool in your inventory. So I thought he was just gonna, like, yeet something at it. But I guess not. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but... Aw, check on Kim. Whisper over your shoulder. You okay, Kim? The lieutenant hunches, recovering. All good, officer. Be careful. She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles. Ah, fuck it. She puts the barrel of the gun into her mouth. Oh boy. What are you doing? Problem solving, she mutters. Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You're... Oh, yes, it is. Well... Good luck! Whoops. You should know the words to say. You've been here yourself. So why is it not coming to you? Why am I standing here like an idiot? Because you misread the situation from the beginning, and now her finger squeezes the trigger. Come on, one idea. I need one idea. A smirk crosses her face as... Well... As she watches you stand there mute, then she exhales sharply, shaking her head and pulls the trigger. You watch as her brain trickles out through her neon hair. I'm kind of sad that I have no emotion to this. Like, this does not make me feel any sort of way. Oh God. Fuck, the lieutenant stands motionless, watching the blood pool in the sand. Okay. What do we do now? We clean up, he looks around. This may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. He squints in the darkness. That tent there. What? I could take her gun. I'll have that, please. Gas can? Oh, it had money in it. Cooking utensils, she's prepared herself porridge with bananas. Dramamine? Isn't that for non-drowsy? The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out. Look inside. You see a rolled up sleeping bag and personal belongings. We should put her in the sleeping bag so the rats don't get to her. Okay, let's carry her over here. The lieutenant nods. What the fuck is that noise? Unnecessary. Sorry again for fucking up the beginning of this recording. I'll figure out how to fix it. The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines, you should look through them. Shine your flashlight on the books and magazines. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines. The lieutenant peeks in over your shoulder. See anything? Sift through the magazines. Riga Monthly, Journal of Material Science, More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. A notebook, take it. You pocket the worn brown leather journal. We should read this immediately, like right now. Okay. A thick journal. The cover is worn, like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. Examine the cover. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller. Schneller is a stationary brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She had good taste and must have taken what she recorded here seriously. Unwind the strap. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. Study the handwriting. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. Flip through the pages. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated. What can we learn from this? What kind of logistics? Hard to tell exactly. Oh, we could learn a lot from this. I don't know why I thought he asked a question. Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in the code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions. There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this. What are the diagrams of? Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Anything personal? Short, wry observations of the people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also what appear to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. How far back do the entries go? The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable. What did she write the day Lily died? Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault, except... But that's another matter entirely. She's referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense? Anything about La Puta Madre? The name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal. You do seem an M, though, in La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th. Read the entry from March 9th first. Great. M. Pione is coming to town. Oh, M's Pione. Okay. Is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching, but also, I feel it in my gut, to finally put a bullet in my head. While I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break, well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call. Did M call her personally? Why? Read the entry from March 12th. Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people. The boys, for example, but experience tells me. Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. What's the most recent entry? Conclude with the journal. The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run? Not really my idea of an open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning. I don't think she killed the mercenary. The lieutenant taps on the page. It looks like she might have been framed. So she died for nothing. She was in plenty of trouble even without the murder charge. He looks down. Still, it's a nasty business. Kid, am I really a La Puta Madre agent? He looks you straight in the eye for a moment, then sighs. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure. Who is La Puta Madre? The head of a major jamrock gang specializing in drug production and trafficking. A very bad person. He's not 100% sure you're not in debt to this very, very bad person. Then, who do you think killed the merc? Could have been Titus. Then again, he pauses to think. But no one heard the shot. Maybe there's a hardy boy we've yet to meet who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it. Look, my badge. Look so young. Alright. Okay. And then we have 3 of these. So let's do perception. Why not? Logic, I don't know. That was nice. Sure, I guess. Dark water trails in the distance. There's no way out. Okay. We'll just go back the way we came. Since this is going to be a lot of walking, I'll also take a break to look at what we've got to do next. So... oh, sorry, see you in a second. Okay. Back in town now. What's his face in here? Huh. Okay, here we go.
I'm all out of shit to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
These guys are all armored up, huh?
Put your goddamn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through, all right?
Shut up! You're not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
Jeez. This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm. Kim, what's going on here? The lieutenant raises his left hand.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
That's a person. Who are you?
The Kept is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone caught here.
Jeez.
You all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fella? Peaceful?
It sounds like the armored figure is weeping. Oh.
Nest in your abdominal cavity, like a little wild mouse.
What the heck?
Fuck, there's the third one. How did we miss something like this?
Lieutenant points to the helmeted figure. Mass barrier order intelligence. Okay. We're out of time. This is...
The mercenary tribunal.
Lieutenant nods. What do we do?
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
He puts his hand on his holster. The big one is the mercenary at the gates.
Into a firefight. We should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader. Alright. Stop. This is the police. Get between them.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
He licks his lips, waving his gun at the crowd. Losing his balance for a moment, he staggers backwards. It's the only word you can make out. I can see you're drunk.
Oh yeah, welcome to the fucking party. You're probably gonna get killed too. I don't give a shit if you're cops.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The killer? Like the actual killer, or like you're just referring to the mercenary as a killer because he's killed people in the past? I have questions. That was a little misleading. Help. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. You feel your fists contract as you stand there between these men, all carrying real weapons. No, it's okay. Soften him up and trust the others to attack if it comes to that. Make him talk. Present an argument. Oh boy. Can I save? Can I save, please? I mean, I could try this option, and if it doesn't work, just reboot the save from when Ruby died. I'm barely keeping it together here. This is it. If you talk to him, he will rattle you, not the other way around. I see. Alright, let's try this. What's the matter, loincloth? Got your mouth full of dicks, he croaks. Think I'm gonna spare you? My brother's dead. Alright, well that didn't help. Shit, this is it. Tell him anything. Tell him you have more information. Um. Kill me and you'll never find who killed your colonel. I've been withholding information. Rudd? The man looks to his right. Kill him. Uh-oh. This is a weird... This is odd anatomy thing going on here. There's something odd going on here. The porcelain man raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His hands are steady and the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. Well, this is not what I wanted to happen. I at least wanted to try some of the other stuff. An Eister Air FA-7? Built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you. Now, this Kim, whereas Kim could be one of two things. It could be, I gotta make sure that Kim doesn't get hurt, or, like, Kim will save me. I would prefer that I gotta make sure that Kim is not hurt. Dodge the shot. Kim, where's Kim? From the corner of the eye, you see the lieutenant raise his pistol and aim at Rudd. He's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifleman can take you out. It's not easy. He has 0.6 seconds to do so. He won't make it. You're on your own. Blink, think. You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rudd's mask behind it, his eyes in the slit of the helmet, like a camera lens focusing on you. 0.4 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the barrel, like a honeycomb. This is a knot cannon. It shoots 6 rounds in one pull of a trigger. Did that go up or down? God, you're so frail. Too frail to think further. Time is running out. Alright. I cannot be killed. I've become immortal. You leap forward. You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks. Sure. Stop shooting at me. The man tilts his head, trying to see through the clearing smoke for the next shot. Watch out. To your left, DePaul is about to take a shot too. At Kim. Lieutenant aims, face pale, without tremble. He quietly utters, God, please. He's aiming for the eye slot in Rudd's helmet, an extremely difficult shot. Then, 2 shots. Jeez. I didn't even get to finish. Then 2 shots ring out. One from Lieutenant Kitsuragi's pistol, and the other from DePaul. It's aimed at Kim, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you. Who screamed? Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you. Through all the smoke and the panic, a pistol raised, aiming at your chest point blank. Then the man squeezes the trigger. Look him in the eye. A look of happiness. His eyes seem unnaturally bright, shining like stars. Something in the fear must distort him somehow. He is evil. And the end. Whatever. Why not? Figured as much. Well, we died. Here comes death. We failed at the reaction speed? Or was the other thing the reaction? Okay, whatever. You can't. There's no time. Something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. I wonder if I should have equipped Ruby's gun. I'm a freaking dum-dum. I meant to do that. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark, a distant blur as you recede into it. Try to open my eyes. What do I see? Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them like a hellish play. Out of it, a silhouette appears, crouching over you. You hear a familiar voice, filled with urgency and fear. You're bleeding out. No one wants to do anything with me. No one wants to party with me. What? It's so dark, I can't see anything. Stay with me. The lieutenant pushes down on your wound hard. You hear me? Stay awake. Look at me. Oh, Kim! Kim, my baby, don't be sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I failed. I'm sorry I didn't save properly. But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy and the sound ever more distant, and a cold comes over you. Kim, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone, when suddenly you sense something behind him. A shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. Kim! Kim truly trusts me? Scream immediately, he's gonna die. Oh! No, you scream. Behind you, from your bloody lips, your eyes are full of fear. There's no room for hesitation. The lieutenant turns around and fires, his body falling onto yours in the course of the motion. You hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears, like someone presses stop on the tape. The hulking figure, too, is gone, and so is Kim. The whole world fall into darkness. This is death. One more door. Oh, JK.
One more door, baby. One more door.
No, let me back into the fight.
Fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago. You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. Take the door.
I don't want to.
He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh, God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead.
What?
Over the hours. Hurting. Moaning in his sleep. And rotting. And being disinfected. And smelling of drugs and feeling saliva in his mouth. Drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his bones.
There's a radio in the distance, a radio of the world, playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon you will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally, we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call.
The engine of a corpus skinny mill.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
Are we dead? I don't want to be dead. Can we wake up in a hospital and Kim is there and we're best friends for life? That'd be nice. You see Kim's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple from the pain. Kim. Sunrise. Parabellum. The lieutenant says he's in the middle of a freshly cleaned room, with the fan above his head like a halo. His face is covered in bruises. Ouch. It's not ouch time yet. You just got a Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off. Dramamine. Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under the counter bad. What happened? What happened? We tried to take the diplomatic route and hoped they wouldn't attack first. They did. The major gave the command. What happened then? As retaliation, the rifleman tried to shoot you. He missed, or you dodged. Then what? I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive. There's a pause. Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital. Yesterday, Elaine and the young musician, I forget his name. They're all that's left. Titus is dead. Yes. You're bleeding out by then, he thinks. You warned me I was able to disarm Coordinator before he got the jump on me. I was not able to kill him as I should have. Crennel took him. The lieutenant takes a cigarette from his coat pocket and lights it. A bitter smell fills the room. A stray bullet killed DePaul, though, and that's what happened. The Major. Who's the Major? I thought you only spoke to one a day. This is the one. Titus is dead? Yes, he pulls on his cigarette intently. And the Major? Is in a private hospital across the river. Crennel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured. We don't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage. How many casualties on the Union side total? 5. Glenn, Theo, Shanky, Angus, the fat one. He took a lot of bullets. There's a pause. And Titus. And that's all. He nods. And it's a total shit show, Kim. Yes, officer, he says calmly. 6 people are dead. It's not a success. But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. He rubs his swollen chin. The worst scenario has not materialized yet. And, he smiles, we're still alive, both of us. He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies. The room, it's clean. Mr. Gart cleaned it. Took him an entire day. How long have I been out? 2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse and drink water. What did you say? Sunrise? Sunrise, parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying. Is it war today? He looks out the window. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say. I think we may have held it off. For now, he unzips his bomber jacket. Barely. Good. Ooh, I got an achievement. The world's most laughable centrist. Sure. Yes, we have also completely failed, but that's okay. How bad am I hurt? Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. The outer side, thankfully. No major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. Can I walk? We will see. You won't be able to dance much, that's for sure. You should be able to live with limping around, though. Are you hurt? Not very, he rubs his chin. I have a concussion from the Major beating me with the butt of his gun. I tried not to move much. Things would be much worse if you didn't warn me. There's a pause. Thank you, I did not see him coming. Stupid of me. Has anyone from my station been to see me? No. Really? I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they sent officers to join you on site. Odd. You haven't seen any, have you? There's a pause. I'm sure they're worried about you. If not my station, then who treated me? I did. I didn't know you could do that. It's part of a detective's task chain. You can do it too. Actually, you can. You can even remove a fractured bullet, it seems. Okay, get up. Get up. Get up, my friend. You can do it. Easy now. The lieutenant turns double again before your eyes, an orange hue of pain. Your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over on that thing. How are you? My disco days are done. Your disco days should have been done quite a while back, officer. What happens now, Kim? I honestly don't know. But I don't know either. We can talk to Everett. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now, and Joyce is left too. Joyce is gone. Oh, we can't. I said can. We can't talk to Everett. Joyce is gone. Yes, she left yesterday morning to meet the Board of Wild Pines, or that it was what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Crennel from sending in a death squad. He looks out the window. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her end. Either way, Ruby's gone, and Classier too. We really should have arrested her, you know. Wait, Classier's gone too? Oh yes, he nods. She left 20 minutes prior to the tribunal showing up, I asked Mr. Gart. Turns out it was a bad idea not to arrest her, but, he shrugs, maybe it was a good deed that will pay off in heaven. Who did it then, Kim? Who killed the hangman? That was our job to find out, wasn't it? Honestly, I just don't know. Our circle of suspects is dead and gone. It's not a circle at all. It's a ruin. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect. His voice is calm, matter-of-factly. The fucking Maybells, Kim? The flowers. What flowers? I'm confused. What is this? The fucking Maybells, Kim. The flowers. What? They were on the roof. I did not catch them. Fucking Butterfingers. Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to catch everything. He's wrong! Okay. They were not checking her out. It was probably... No. Yeah, actually, wait. I was gonna say it was probably the bullet going through the man, but it didn't go through the man. It was stuck in the man. What about the hole in the... Ouch. Wall? Someone was checking her out. I don't know, he rubs his neck. That's been there for years. There's still a 28% possibility the shot came from a distance. We should go upstairs. We think the ballistics in situ. A light nod through some pain. I agree with this. What else? An antique bullet from a Belmont grave, 44.6 millimeter. How hard can it be to find one? How hard can it be? It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around. We found one, all completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is to find them that makes the bullet useless. You know what I think about solving crimes? He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead. Solving crimes is hard. It really is very hard. You're not ready to give up, are you? No. There's a short pause. Are you ready to limp? I'm ready. Good. There's a pause. Where do you want to limp? The lieutenant did mention doing some ballistics. We should check Classier's room upstairs. Why not? He extinguishes a cigarette on the sole of his boot. Sure. Thanks. Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better. Stuff is fixed. Yep. Look, the door is open. You can walk right into Kim's room. You see gleaming white enamel. No bottles inside. What would going into Kim's room do? This stereo player has been reunited with its right speaker. Okay. Oop. Ouch, that leg hurts. Maybe if you don't run, it'll be okay. But I want to run. I want to do it. Wait. Why are you showing up? Looks like she left something on the table. What is it? Next to the stack of bills, you see a note, a few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. I'm sorry I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs. A gift. The lieutenant turns to the staircase suspiciously, looking for any signs of another presence in the shadows above. What could this gift be? I'm not drawing my gun. Oh, I am not drawing my gun yet. But I don't like gifts. He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively towards his holster as he studies the note. Seems she left in a hurry. It's hardly surprising. Leave. Okay, let's go. My eye hurts. Help. SOS. I'm a stupid head. A red thread, made of nylon, it leads out of the room and onto the roof. Shrug. They changed the text on this, didn't they? I've been thinking it for a while now, but this text looks different. It looks more blocky, doesn't it? The thread is tied to the antenna. What? Right. I'll go back in, and I'll click on the window, which I should have done before I came out. But whatever. Don't forget to click the orbs around your head. They have surprises. Surprises? For me? Nah, you shouldn't have. You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman. Now only a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall. This is ballistics. She left a trajectory for us. The lieutenant tests the thread with his finger. Drawn taut, it rebounds instantly. A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside. A prime, and then wide into the radius of the locations of Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime. Where does the thread lead? It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof, B. The island in the bay. Is she trying to tell us the shot came from the islet? He nods. Unless she thinks the perpetrator is standing on the ring antenna, that is where the thread seems to point. This is the location we have yet to rule out. So it is. Maybe we need to go to the island. The wind blows in from the open window. The lieutenant sighs, looking into the cold distance across the water. The lead is flimsy. Might as well go around Martinez, looking under every rock and talking to every person. But what else is there? No, I'm going to the island. I'm going to the island. Are you in? Of course, he nods. Of course I'm in. He takes a second to gather himself, then says, How do we get there? Joyce Messier had her sloop, but she's gone. Leah and the net picker. She's tarring her boat. Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll pick that up when I get here. There. Whatever. Thirsty. Ooh, real quick. I know that I'm not really doing any of the side quests anymore.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you.
I did, thank you, big improvement. I want to give him the bird. You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire. Defended may be putting it a bit generously, though. I had a great view of you doing nothing to stop those psychopaths. Then I crawled inside, bullets started flying. Anyway, he clears his throat. I wish you a quick recovery. Also, he raises his finger, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, and the drinks are not, he adds. Just felt I needed to specify that. Guy, I found a new bird for the whirling. Give him the ruffed grouse. What is this thing? The man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie, I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cap. What? The interior decorating kind. He inspects the bird, somewhat suspiciously, then mellows. You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird, a competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in this establishment, I guess. He hesitates. So, I don't know. Thank you? I'm gonna go with thank you. I feel good about our work here today, the lieutenant nods. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals. It's not actually about that, but he liked it. Oh, it changed. Goodbye. I don't care to sing karaoke. Karaoke. The last two members. Sad. Also, the old lady in the wheelchair is gone. Maybe she found her husband. I hope she did. I don't know what that says. What did you say? I didn't hear what that said. The graffiti has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull. Looks like Cindy the Skull finally found the words for her masterpiece. The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger. Looks like it, yes. It's still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday. I smell heavy fuel oil. And blood. Some of it is even yours. Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable? What? What are you trying to imply at? Fingers? Are we calling him Fingers? Why? What? Nope, nope. No. Bad idea. Okay, sorry. Close call. I don't know what this was about, but sure. Tommy? Tommy called over to me. I'm glad you're safe, Tommy. But I'm on a mission. Nope, this is not the correct way. I still don't have my gun back, but like, whatever. The old dudes are gone. I forgot that he asked me not to run because he hurt himself on his leg, but running anyway. Alright. Alright. Take me on a boat ride, please.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? Weird gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You didn't only get shot. I have questions for you.
Of course.
Doesn't matter.
Can I help you with something?
-6. Don't know a good spot yet. All right. I don't care. We need to get to that island. That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. She points to her skiff next to the jetty. We got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. Can we borrow your boat? If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat. Her eyes narrow, and no joyriding either. Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two, official police business. Aye, she nods. Nod along attentively. The crow's feet disappear from the corner of her eyes as she smiles at you. Thank you. We'll use your skiff to get there then. She nods. Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? I just filled her up, but it's a small tank. Be seeing you. Take this boat. A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember that the net picker said, it's a small tank, you won't be going back and forth on this. Get in and ride to the island. Main goal is accomplishing this. If you want to see all the extra stuff, why are you standing like that? You doofus. If you want to see all the extra stuff, I 10 out of 10 recommend you buy the game. There's various ways to play. There's obviously a ton of stuff I missed. So, yeah. 10 out of 10 do recommend. But, you know, I like leaving stuff to the imagination anyway when I play games. Like, it just feels kind of rude to show everything there is to show of a game. Like, then there's no reason for you to go play it yourself. Like, I'll for sure play it again someday on my own time and learn more. But for now, kind of burnt out on it. But Hollow Knight, that's probably what's gonna go up next. I do also have to finish Dead or School. Bleh. end live streaming. Probably live stream after this. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of like a toss-up because I can't upload and live stream at the same time. So I'd have to edit this, upload it, and because it's probably going to be several hours long, it will take several hours. I uploaded a 3-hour video yesterday to my second channel, and it took probably like 5 hours, not gonna lie. And I have good internet, decent internet. I don't have amazing internet, but it's like decent. So do I want to wait that long and then live stream? I don't know. I don't know, man. This is really pretty, though. Probably gonna get copyright. That's okay. I don't make money anyway. Is that oil? Excuse me, what the fuck? Ice? I haven't ridden on a boat in my life. It's not usually enough water around, firstly, and secondly. Well, unless you count a kayak. I've been kayaking. But not like boating. I want to go see some sharks. One day, life goal. Go meet some sharks. Okay. The boat comes to a slow stop. Kim turns the engine off. Then there's a silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings, a flock of quails takes off in the distance. Let's go, he whispers. Good note. Okay. Makeshift bridge. The bombs were powerful enough to break. I can't read all of that. Okay, and it's gone now. Whatever. Fuck you too then, huh? There's a lingering trace of mazut in there. Attention, inflammable. Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel. Black, viscous. That must be what's in the water. Oops, I meant to click on his little yellow bubble. Barrel says ICM. You see a star with little specks on it. ICM. This feels familiar somehow. Kim, what's the ICM? Insulated Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards' army, the black and white army of the revolution. Sounds an awful lot like RCM. Sounds like RCM, British Citizens Militia. It does. Why? The RCM may descend from the ICM. May. It's impossible to say. He looks towards the darkened doorway. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Rochelle West was mostly workers and criminals. Nice. Political thoughts rush through your neocortex. It's gonna be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant. I don't have a crutch. What? Are you talking about my leg? You're calling my leg a crutch? Just catch your breath. He bows to inspect the barrel. This is better preserved than the others. You can still read the sign. A white star. Points to the star on the label. No, he looks at it. An upside-down star. With horns in the sky. The symbol of the commune. Finish that. I don't care. Could not give a care. Let's go inside. Low on morale, put points in volition. Yeah, this is definitely different. It's like bigger too, right? My eyes hurt. What is this, a telescope of some kind? This was once an armament rest. Oh. Twin cannons were attached here. Medium distance, large caliber. Well, you can tell who my brain is. Careful, these stairs have collapsed. Can't go down them. Okay. What is this? An old cylindrical generator is nestled above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth. It's cold now, he concludes, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Where do these wires lead? He looks at the wall socket downstairs somewhere. What kind of generator is this? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazut. He points to the open fuel cap on the side of the dynamo. That kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold. If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator. Tap on the side. A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift. What does this mean? A generator here. I don't know, I'm not a philosopher. But why is it here? Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. The wind outside picks up suddenly with a faint howl. Inside it's warm. Leave. I don't care. Why would I fill it up? Books mostly fantastic and historical fiction. I'm hungry. I had a muffin before I started recording, but now I want, like, something dense. Dishes stained with sauce and fire. A survivor's kitchen. You see candles planted on a broken range finder. A moth-bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. Oh. So much more stuff when you push tab. This is a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft-covered books. White linen and pillows are visible under a worn-out crackle blanket. Someone has been squatting here, the lieutenant inspects bed. The linen is fresh, recently washed. Do you think whoever slept here is? A flash of pain interrupts you, making you wince instead of letting the words out. Rest in the flak tower? You know, officer, he looks at you with a touch of concern. You can rest here if you feel tired. I'll keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead. Maybe a little shut-eye, just an hour. Go to sleep. You face the concrete wall. There's less light there. In the dark corner, like a dog, you lie there. Curl up with your knees close to your chest. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does, concrete and cold. The minutes pass. Half an hour, maybe. The sound of the sea beyond grows distant. Your eyelids close until... You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Kim? Kimmy boy? Kim? Heh, his head still follows my mouse. Kim? The lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside to the beach. Okay. How do I get out? You can see the light shining through. Am I supposed to go back over through this door? Is that what you want? The door's still here. Closed. Feels strange somehow. You can't get in. What? Well, I don't understand how to get out. Oh, I'm dumb. I could walk under the bridge from the other side. I'm silly. Let's see if we can do anything over here. Here's a doorway. Ah, jeez. That was a little dumb. On my part. Kim? No Kim here. Go down the chain, there's something there. What chain? Oh, down this chain. Walk into the water now. I see your footprints on the water. Whose? Like, I must be dreaming, because, like, I'm on the water now. What the heck? I'm incredibly confused. Can we go this way? No. We go backwards. Oh, there's a way up over here. Okay. Can't see anything. Well, then this must not actually be anything. Can I go over this way? I can't go over this way. Okay. Thoroughly confused. Anything over here? No. Come on, go back. You say to go down the chain, but I went there. Whose footprints? You are very confusing. I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of getting frustrated. I can't even go back inside. There must be something I'm missing, but like, what the fuck? I don't mean to get so upset. But like, it's the same repeating sounds. And like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Further. Okay. We'll just click and sometimes it'll let us go. Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship bag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the holy suzerain of Mundi and Insulind. Definitely not your wife. You need to talk to her. Think of the historical knowledge you could glean. I don't know, man. What is the holy suzerain doing here? Something seems off. Go. Goodbye. I don't care. Is what you want to say, but you don't. Hammers clang in the distance. Children laugh. God damn it, everything was fine already. The light from the video rental casts shadows on the ground. She turns her face and it's illuminated by it. Red and cyan. Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there. In Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
Hey. Hey, that's all I get.
Hate you too?
She says apprehensively. Sorry, I shouldn't have bothered you.
I mean, no. But I am in a hurry.
Something's off.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She stops mid-sentence, glances to her right, then looks at her bag. What's in the bag?
Just my scepter. My globe cruciger. A spare silk gown. A toothbrush. Travel
Crown of Immortality. Aren't you already wearing
Oh,
one?
this.
She corrects the wreath on her forehead.
This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say than over her shoulder.
Anyway,
Can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic showdown.
no, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really.
Okay.
We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out.
Yeah.
The atoms don't fool us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever.
Okay.
That's the way it is.
Sure. Oh god, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now. But that's not a very good way for things to be. It's not, but she looks at her feet, little golden sandals over her toes. But what? Tell me there's something good. I don't know why I said but. There's no but. That's it. That's it, yes. She looks up from her toes. We've talked about it a million times. You'll get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again. Where? In hell? I'm not getting over it at all. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe. It was hard for me too, you know. I used to think I couldn't live without you. She looks you straight in the eye, her iris is light blue flecked with green. But I can. It doesn't have to be like this. Maybe we could try again. No, Harry, we can't. Why? We already tried again and it didn't work. Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice, then give up? Be the last sane people in the world, but only twice. If it doesn't work, let's lose our minds and let it all sink into the pail. What? What went wrong when we tried again? I could do it better. I don't know. Please. She shuffles from one golden sandal foot to the other. In the distance, a streetcar screeches. Why? Why can't we be together? Harry, you can't be together. We can't be together because you're insane. Her eyes turn sorrowful ovals. Insane? How? They're turning moist now. Her eyes... She slowly shakes her head and tries to get a hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown. But what do you mean by insane? You know what I mean. Everyone gets a little down. A little down? You've worked there for so long you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's all lists with you. Questions. Questions. Did someone say questions? What? Okay. Don't talk to me. Where's everybody talking to me? They're not lists, they're trees. This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now. But I like my lists. It's not just lists or trees or whatever. She cracks the wreath on her head, with her hand trembling now. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay down for too long. You only communicate with encyclopedic trivia. I was so alone. Wait, are you ditching him because he has depression? You're a bitch. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man, and you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. Don't go. No, don't say it. Don't beg. It will only make her go. It's all I have left, please. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. Her fingers wrap around the bag handle. I'm gonna go now. Lies, sire. She cannot love you. She said so 100 times. Wait, can't we sit down and have a coffee first? There's a cafeteria on the corner, point east. No, that would only be painful and dull. At the Aerodome, life, love, and laughter are waiting for me. At the cafeteria, dust, hell, and tragic comedy. Tragic comedy. There's only one C. Hold on, what are you gonna do in Morova? Light, life, culture. It's so much better than here. Everything here reminds me of you and the horrible times we had. The nights we stayed up fighting for our dying love. I have to wipe it all off of me and be clean again. I want to be a good person again, not this. Not what you made me into. I don't want... You don't want me to let you go. Not really, you asked me not to. That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight, she turns. Will we ever see again? I won't see you, but you'll see me. How can that be? Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? She looks around. A year? 2? 5 years ago? How will I see you again then? Right here. Tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started. Happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young, and I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Ew. I smell like a beach. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness after leaving you the first time not so long ago. I like this. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow. Alright, I'm very confused about what's happening, but whatever, honestly. Like, that's over. Boop, boop, boop. Get up. Get up, dummy. You're up quick. How was your sleep? What? Blood. Where are you bleeding? Yeah, you shouldn't swallow blood. Let's, spit out the blood and get back to work. You're badass like that. Okay, he implies simply. I have to... Okay. Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor on a makeshift cupboard. They're not particularly well organized. Sift through them. Most are softcover, serialized, fantastic, and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. The Desperate Digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T. and T. Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine Catholic for electrical engineering, then it's back to pulp, light erotica, and international thriller about circuit benders. Someone made themselves a home, the lieutenant expects a soft cover. Whatever. Does anything out here stand as out as unusual? Okay. Whatever. Leave. Whatever. The great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off of it. You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There's a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small. How do we open this? He looks at the door, then at its big brother, then at the lock. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open. He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs over the ceiling. It must control the blast door. I find just not opening it highly unlikely. That was loud. Alright, the lieutenant knocks on the metal. I retract my statement. It was naive. Let's look around and get it open. Let's go outside. Wait. Green paint flakes off the monoblock aluminum cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard. Run your fingers across the keyboard. The keys rattle like teeth. The keyboard hasn't been functional in decades. What is this, then? The console of an antique computation device. The lieutenant points to the wires running through the machine. The generator upstairs with wires coming out to terminate here. Could this open the blast door? Possibly. He inspects the dials. Urgence, overt, alumer, radio diffuse? Say? It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does. This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function a radio computer. Turn emergency open. Nothing happens. We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, he looks upstairs. Didn't look like there was fuel in it. Then he looks in the dim light to his right. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it. The boat engine. From your MC. Motor carriage? I have an itch on my ear, but I also have this, like, jewelry thing. So I was like, how do I get in there? Because I have the jewelry and then the earbud. Not in agreement. Oh, wait. Oh, whatever. I have some fuel. Whatever. It's fine. What is this? This hatch is jammed shut. Water rushes below, far below. Cool, I guess. Low on health, put points into endurance. Fuck you! Stop giving me tips. I'm done. I almost beat this game and you're still trying to tip me out the head. A firing slit, you can't see inside. Well, it probably means it was doing its job then. It must have been direct hit to take out such a huge chunk. Reed sways strangely. No, it's nothing. We'll go over here first because I know it's a dead end. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of the chain. Ooh, wait. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince. Then you continue. In the inside of the fortress, make out the console and the blast doors. Wait. Can we look at that one? No, I guess not. A withered artillery map showing coordinates of the Bay of Riva Shoal. Mattress nest. There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbly roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall. B triple prime. The lieutenant lowers his voice, stepping closer with his hand on his gun. This looks like a good place to shoot from. Inspect the mattress. A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use, brand name Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover along with cigarette burns. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts. Pick one out of the can. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand Teomortri? Contemporary Rivasholans prefer Droin, A local blend from the Southern Islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad. Tio Mortiri is favored by older men for its paper filter tips, sweet smell, and added tar. Someone's been smoking here. He nods. The smoker's a clean person. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside. Keeps it tidy. Prefers to come out here to smoke. Inspect the wall. There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Touch the concrete first. Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. Look through the hole in the concrete. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. A small piece of the Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar. On the left, a towering skyscraper, its top floor shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside Apartments, Rue de Saint Ghislaine, 33A and 33B. On the right, the red chimney that collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling Rags. Rue de Saint Ghislaine 10, the doomed commercial area. In between the two, the box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Classier's room. There it is. Do you have a line of sight to the window? More than that. With a pair of binoculars, I'd be able to see inside the room. A pair of binoculars, or a scope of a rifle. He points to the makeshift bed. You'd be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. Cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger. On a calm day like this, Kim, I can make it. I can make that shot. Good. He pats you on the back. 3 small pats in a row. I think we have it, detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest. Affirmative. Better late than never. He nods. Nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere. You're right. He looks north over the fortification, then at the mattress. Then again, his face twitches. Could the shooter still be here? Where? He looks behind his back. On this island? He does not answer, just nods with his back hunched. He looks around once more and says, "We should move now." Junway. An old medicine cabinet newly stocked with Druamine. Sure, I'll take this fuel canister. Alright. How would we get up there? Probably from back inside then, I guess. And we'll open the doors then. Try not to whistle because it puts stress on my lungs. Right. Fuel. Upstairs. Run! Run, you psychos. Run! Psychos. This old cylindrical generator waits with its fuel cap open. Makeshift electrical wiring runs out of its side and across the floor. Oops, dang it. Pour fuel on the tank. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to fuel a tank as you tilt. Dark brown viscous fluid pours out and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. Pull the rope. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old war horse before settling down to a rattle. That should do it. Alright, now we try to open these doors with... Oh, look. Look, wait. I'll take this. Not that I need more stuff, but... somehow I missed that the first go-around. A dim golden glow animates the console, faint, like a ghost light. Urgent alert reads one dial key, Illuminer reads another. It's on, he smiles. Turn emergency open. The last door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft light appears, then widens as the light shines in. Jeez. More? Alright. The last door opens. Oh, read that. After you, the lieutenant gestures to the opening. What if we get into another fight? Don't worry, he takes out his sidearm, checks the barrel, then holsters it again. I have a gun. Let's go. I also have a gun. Put it in your hand. Yeah. That's what I should have done the first time. Damn dummy. This doesn't look safe. So many loading screens at this end bit. Like, why are there so many of them? Jeez. Not a fan. How do we get around? I want to get over there. See, there's this door. No, not into it? Okay. Can we go this way? No, just this way. Well, that's good, I guess. Wait. Oh, wait, purple one. Small white flowers blossom all around you. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated, broken. That's how the sniper got here, on the dinghy. Oh, hello, Mr. Sniper. Who are you? A deserter, huh? An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth. Ew. Then spits it into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. You retain your eyesight.
My eyesight, yes. Helps me see all this shit.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I filled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
He shakes his head. How did you know I was coming?
The boat engine on the water.
He gestures north. Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. Gets the job done.
Is that a bell in my grave?
It's a Trigon 446.
Southeast Samurai made. Exotic. Made must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle? How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Xinjiang commune. Military aid.
He pats the rifle. It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing. The Xinjiang commune.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from a board.
His gaze turns inward. He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the World Revolution in the Safra Empire, extinguished in '06. Let it vanish. It's almost as if they were never there. Only the rifle remains, cradled by the old man. So I need you to put down the gun so we can talk further. We're the police. The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You're a glorified night watchman.
He looks you in the eye.
Service rifle. I can only lay it down for an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
His elbows rest on the frame stock, calmly for now, but he may still get it in his hands. Looks like he knows the weapon. Kim? The lieutenant aims the pistol square at the man's forehead.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're going to blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then looks at it lying there. Pick up the gun lying in the sand. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand, frames stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. Inspect it closer. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt you see Vespertine writing burnt into the wood. Triangong 4.46 millimeter, made in Xingyao. Sorry, I'm butchering it, I'm sure. Stow the gun, doesn't matter. The old man keeps following your motions with his gaze. His left arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response? Something is slightly off with his motorics. This looks very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him to get a confession in time. Who are you? My name, he looks across the water then back at you, is Iosef Lilyanovich Dros, political commissioner of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I'm a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender. His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull. There, behind them, across the delta, the Intercom building, coalition government Elysium mission control. The commune of Revachol. The lieutenant forgets to close his mouth. Do you mean ICM? You're a holdover from the Elysium Citizens Militia, the army of the Revachol. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôleur, consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties. 51 minus 80 was 43. You've been on this island for 43 years? No, he looks into the fire. A wisp of smoke arises from somewhere between the charred logs. I've been on other islands, too. I was on Resurrection until I turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, Nameless Sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was, he thinks, 22 years ago. How have you survived all this time? How does anyone survive? He looks at his worn running shoes. I steal. What do you steal? Supplies, vegetables, he winces. I collect rainwater. It's like the life of a dog, not a human being. He coughs once more, then puts his hand on his belly. How's your health, Mr. Dross? I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot, been passing it in stool, too. He does seem frail, gaunt for his age, more like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer. The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over. I need to die. A droll smile stretches across his mouth. I don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. Oh, you don't have medical facilities. We have Dramamine and other opioid-based painkillers. You must be in pain. A light goes on in his eyes. He smacks his dry lips. I have been running out of that stuff. This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over, and we can do it. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. And administer morphine. Moribund? How have you coped mentally? I haven't. I have holes in my brain, years missing, others filled with pain only, a decade of. His eyes roll into his skull and back. I don't even know what. Inferno? You notice the lieutenant about to say something. I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation. Traitors, it's better alone. He nods towards Martinez. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins glimmering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting. He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere. You said this is your terminal surrender? You're with the RCM, he waves in your general direction. The coalition appointed the mob that enforces bourgeoisie morals in Revachol. We're not coalition appointed, we just try to help people. He stares at you coldly. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International. The enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, the Parti Communiste d'Insulinde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity. His hand shakes, and he breaks into a coughing fit. A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. What is this place, this island? It's not an island, Droite? He looks around. It's a defensive fortification on the commune of Revachol, and I am its last surviving defender. Understood. Do I have to go through all these? I don't want to. Again, you've been hiding for 43 years? 43 years and 10 months. I don't even know what that is. It's inhuman. It's sick. It's not how a human being should live, but I had to. He grimaces, clearly in pain. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw. What have you been doing during all this time? Hiding, fishing, waiting. He looks across the water. Always waiting, always. Sorry. For what? For her to return. Her who? Girl child revolution. What? I come from the airport to the mainland. I can assure you that's not what people are planning. I'm not a fool, he blinks his black eyes. I know the material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do. You said you deserted your unit. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith, he cleared his throat, and of courage, too. Understood. How have you concealed yourself all these years? It was hard in the tens. He shakes his head. I don't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. He closes his eyes. Floodlights on the water at night. There were posters, campaigns. The communards still hope that they need to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated Martinez and Coal City, or turned to dust. He looks south, but Jamrock, Fowborough, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Mazkov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol were still fighting. They were cells. I tried to contact them. He shakes his head. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead. How did you get between here and the mainland? At night, I used a dinghy. He nods towards the deflated tire and the reeds. Ha ha! I called it. It was a joke, but I called it. Sniper on a dinghy. He nods towards the deflated tire and the reeds. I only went after dark then. Sorry. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot. The commons, too. They started snitching. In the city, you move underground? From bunker to bunker, he nods. Not anymore, no one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. Why don't you just walk there? I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals. The weapons cache under St. Crystalline 22B. Point at it. In the basement. Have you been there? He looks at you, then pulls the raincoat tighter around his neck. So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belma Graves, right? They were. Useless now, rusted away. So you've been there. Sleeping, he coughs. Some nights, ammo scrounging on others. Those Maugres were shit even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however. You feel the dots connecting, little dots on the map he's walked across. There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there? The propaganda bunker, he coughs. I used to, but not anymore. Propaganda bunker. They stored leaflets there, broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. Killed themselves. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. He stares at the ruins of the Feld building. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins on the ground. Tell me another thing. Are you a communist soldier from the Communist Army? No, I'm not a soldier. I'm an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Understood. I have another serious question for you. What have you been using this gun for? I've used it for killing people. Killing people. It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property? I haven't done that. I used it to kill people. Interesting, the lieutenant nods. During or after the war? There is no after the war. He shakes his head and smiles, his teeth rotten black. Class war is never over. So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. This is it. You can feel it. Like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But what? This is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Going straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. Okay, well, I guess I missed on the other thing. Okay, Yep. Did you use the gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor, Grenell? The who now? He leans in and cups his ear. He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire. I don't know. The corpse in ceramic armor hanging behind the whirling of rags. Did you shoot him? Oh yes, that one. He looks up the sky and clacks his tongue. Ugly piece of work, that boy. Did you kill him? The lieutenant takes a sudden step towards him. I am a son of a welder and an officer of the Communal Revachol. He spits a big one at the lieutenant's feet. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime. A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him, get a confession. The gun, the murder weapon, is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in there, but what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first. What tracks? What? Okay. I don't need your cooperation. I've got this. Show him the Triangong 446, whatever. Heh. Not a lot of guns around here that use military-grade ammunition, are there? It's a real gun, he points to your sidearm. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that, jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons, he chortles. Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed. Damn, he saw you. He watched it happen. He would have gotten a good view of the tribunal from here. It was just empty boasting. Okay. Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon. You know what? The lieutenant looks at the weapon demonstratively. You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? dramatically ask. You think we have the murder weapon? 4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range, he lists. We have it. This is it. I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon. Good. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and draws a single line. This feels good, doesn't it? Tying things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer. Murder. The old man does not say more. He just glances into the reeds and then twitches once more. We've done the ballistics. Point to the tower. The shot came from this island. I saw you poking around there looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead face. Whatever. A jitter passes him. Did you like the view? You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use, and you had a long-range rifle in your possession. The lieutenant softens his voice. You've been here a long time, Mr. Drost. Too long. You clearly need medical aid. I'm ready to die, the man interrupts him, then coughs. I've done my part. He's practically admitting to it. Dead Fossies? For fascists? Done his part? What? What? Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope. One thing. Where's the scope? How do you make the shot without a scope? We have everything else. Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't know where it is. Find it yourself. It's your problem now. He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on. You said Fossies? You're admitting you killed him? You're sad for your Fosca brother, aren't you? One twig got broken, now the other are sad. He waves his hand. There's a twitch, then one more one in his right eye. Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of your head. Oh, not that aggressive. I thought it was just gonna be like doop doop, you know? Wait, here it is. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Classier's roof. Oh yes. There were Maybells in the grass when you got there, and the Maybells on Classier's balcony. And nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them. Don't keep hitting yourself. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret place behind Classier's bedroom. Now they're gonna come up. Of course. Thank you, Head. Thank you. You got it. Remember the boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybells behind the victim's window. I saw them growing here. Point to them. Damn Maybells. He looks at the blossoming field. The whole island is turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinez, only here. They blossom on the islets before. We fertilized them with our blood. He looks at the water. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeoisie children to play with. You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. The lieutenant's voice is soft, friendly. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops? I may. A curious tremor passes his face. A young woman called Classier. Ring any bells? Flowers like these were behind her window. Classier. He knows her, but hadn't heard the name. You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary. With the victim. He turns his sight from the whitening field of flowers and falls silent. Then the muscles in his jaw twitch a spasm. There's a small tremble. Looks like a smile, a crooked smile, yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything. I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing. Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa. He looks at his running shoes covered in mud. Some shit. Show me the soles, please, Mr. Drost. Fucking imbecile. The old man stretches out his leg. A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of the worn-out old running shoes on his feet. The maker of it is called sans serif, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size. Okay. The size fits, but not the sole. The lieutenant comes to the same conclusion. Okay. Wait, maybe it's simpler than that. Sorry, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now. People change shoes. It doesn't mean you weren't there, near the room the victim died in, sneaking around. Racking those brains, are you? He squints at you, black pearls gleaming with hatred. Desperate to report something back to your masters. They have been really loved, that dead fuck. Oh, they must have been really loved, that dead fuck. The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire, silent suddenly. Some strange process within him, a gush of wind, seagulls in the distance. He suddenly jerks to life. You know who he was, a coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human, the blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood. He was a killer, but he was still under the protection of the law. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy, he breathes in with strange animation. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. He looks you dead in the eye, pupils shaking. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they died by the hundreds. He breathes through flared nostrils. This is it. Shot him, shot him. Say shot him, not killed him. So you shot him. Oh, the inhumanity. He closes his black eyes. One paramilitary less in Revachol. You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from anger. The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath, just nod. I had them in my sights, both of them, him and the whore. I was breathing with them in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew in the air until I landed in his mouth. He begins to smile. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death and that stupid look on his face. The smile quivers, and his dick still in her. Then what? Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning, there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here, I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did. The lieutenant just looks at him for 1, maybe 2 seconds, then breaks the silence. Mr. Drost, are you aware you're confessing to murder? Yes. A single word is all he gives. The lieutenant takes out his notebook slowly, very slowly, and you were looking at them, the victim and the young woman having sex through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him. The old man nods. Why? Because that's what they were doing, he shrugs and smacks his lips. The motive! This is where the motive is going to come from. I don't understand, he turns to you. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part. Why were you looking at them that night? I'm always looking, he cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his left side, lower in intensity. Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? He explains. I'm just trying to understand. A rifle scope has the best magnification. And if you don't like it... That scared me. You pull the trigger. Yes, he looks you in the eye. Think of it as a form of critique. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift. I have a high chance of doing that. What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder? Them fucking, he looks at the charred wood. I didn't like that. Okay then. Splat. A bloody spitball lands on the firewood. That's so weird. Been looking at anything else you haven't liked? A tragicomedy, he shakes to life. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers? A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put-put-put of hatred. More specifically, the whole city is a carnal house, stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez, he shakes his head in grave disgust. Martinez is the worst. How come? Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez, and their favorite thing to do in the whole world, listening to race-themed radio shows in the ruins in their lorries. He points inland. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revisual 92 race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it. Mr. Clare. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Felipe III, a syphilitic murderer on the town square, to spit on the working class. Let him finish, don't interrupt. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. Intense, like animals. He points to the church, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in the tent of theirs. He keeps shaking his head, with sorrow for the sight he missed. That all? The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sorcery on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is the old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist schools still parade the ruins, too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozone or Croyant Moraine or some other island they've built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. Gross. Say nothing. That's all the rich really want, sex with their own children. Dude, who are you? You're weird. You're freaking out, man. You're freaking out. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least the old cunt Frizzle is now dead. Now I have some questions about this. We did good when we pushed him under the horse car, until in the 30s, those disco whores he breathes in, his breath heavy with hatred. He cannot make out a single word. The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating. And the Socrate on her yacht. Joyce, probably. Disco whores. Whores is all he says. Even that word has to be pushed through his teeth with great force. The rage seized too hard. There was something about the statue on the roundabout and syphilis. Syphilis is a disease Felipe II contracted in a whorehouse. He fires quickly. The statue is an abomination. Abomination. Bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions of sparkling wine, cocaine, and monuments of himself. His son Felipe III, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb. He breathes in with a wheeze of hatred. That is technically possible, although Felipe III was not actually syphilitic, he was just mad. And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government, and those grotesque statues too, hundreds of them. But it's still there. What a keen remark, he sputters. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? I don't know. I do. Some advertising... What just happened here? Some advertising cockroaches used their accumulated capital to erect a new iconic version of it. We tore it down with honest working class plastic explosives. But there it is again, grinning. He shakes his head in disgust. Art is a bourgeoisie establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata. Wait, the bullet hole in Felipe's heart. The statue had been shot. That was him. It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here. It was you who shot the statue. There was a bullet hole in his heart. I did, he nods. A needless sentimental gesture. I should have spared the bullet for a deformed monster of liberal capitalism. Shameful, really. Yes, shameful. The lieutenant takes a quick note. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective? He turns to you. That's it for a statue, then. Tell me, Mr. Dross. The fat union man them put it there. Corrupt as he is, probably got a fat check for it too, shared with the law. He keeps having opinions about the union's leadership. I don't want to rush this, but also at the same time, like, oh, God. It's kind of droning a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we talked about this now. Glad. It's all gone. He stares into the dust at his feet, gray and dirty spring grass all around. So that's his body language, whatever. What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain or the cough or the malnutrition. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild, he's surprisingly okay. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It's capable of expressing complex ideas. Above all, he seems animated. Animated by what? It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures. Thought processes cut off like threads as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, constrained by his nervous system. Dementia? You've seen demented people before. This feels familiar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile. Mr. Dross, are you okay? How is your memory? He waves his hand, chasing something that's not there. No, I'm not okay. I ship blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people. There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Iosef Lilianovich Drost, you're under arrest for the murder of Colonel Connell here in Martinez. Officer, the lieutenant interrupts you at under. His voice is hushed. Are we sure? We could probably get more. Okay, turn to the suspect. One more thing, Mr. Dross. Okay. I want to talk to you again about the people you don't like. We'll finish going through this list. You mentioned the Union is a social democratic and Mr. Clare is a farce of a social democrat. Another hideous disappointment. He pokes at the ash. Unions are the real enemy, the true enemy of the proletariat, placating the masses. Disappointment, so personal. He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass. Who's a disappointment? Ever Clare? The deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean the brains of the operation, the smart one. Edgar. You mean Edgar, Everett's brother? The old man chortles with a nod. He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Les Jardins, where it's alienation this and hegemony that. We've talked to Edgar. First against the wall with him. He stopped poking at the ash now, just shakes his head. The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing. Of course. Maybe the Clares asked him to. Have you... Mr. Drost, did you kill a Crenel mercenary for the Clares? To incite a riot? He shakes his head. I'm not doing anything for that swine again. Again? What have you done for Edgar before? Tried teaching him some Mazovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways. He coughs. Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something. Ugh. I have a really good chance of passing this. There's more here, you can feel it. He's not outright lying, but almost. What was the deal between him and Edgar? The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water, dark, cold water. 20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they? Heh, sputter from the old man. He acknowledges it. Here we go, a twist behind the dark bend. Who did? The bourgeoisie cow. Trifane Holly was her name. He narrows his eyes, licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker. His eyes glistened suddenly with hatred. She was also a woman, wasn't she? She was, and she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muscov bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work. And then she just disappeared. Called in, they say, on the eve of battle, ran away, vanished like a piss stain. He squints and smiles at the black logs. No, that's not quite it, is it? Did she? The lieutenant's voice is calm. They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it? No, I guess it was not. You could swear you see the embers glow again under his eyes on the dust. Edgar had someone make the call. Where's that, Mr. Dross? She couldn't make the call herself. Here it is, the bend in the river. Why? Because she was dead. How come? Because the cow caught a bullet in her right lung, fell in the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled, hard to say. It was a sloppy job on a moving target. She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal. Heading home to Grad Coron or Betancourt, some place like that, where they build those new battlements for people who flourish in the hell around her, and the ruins. You shot her. Someone shot her, he shrugs. His eyes grow cold suddenly. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is nothing changed. Not in the material base. Not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing. Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. A sputter again. Nothing more. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk, the lieutenant says in a voice even calmer, as if it were nothing at all. We would strike everything you have done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. You would even extradite you to the Sumerian People's Republic. A degenerate workers' state. Goat shit. No thank you. I'm a Visholian. He spits. My days are short. I will to rot away here in a moral-entered cell. I will not testify to anything. But you did do it. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Well. Oh well, I guess. All you know is I saw it happen, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Her plump body bobbing up and down in the canal like a cork. That chic yellow bag still on her, strangling her. Black coals look at the canal, then at you. Blink. The blood-drenched Socreant on her boat. What is a Socreant? A Socreant, bloodsucker. The rich whore on her boat. You mean Joyce? He nods. Women like her feed on the life energy of working-class men, and they let her. I can't believe the inert lumpmen out there. They just let her drive her little boat like that. No violence, not even a robbery. The working class has lost their appetite for justice. His voice trails off in disappointment. If only he had the ammunition. By the cock parading in his colorful uniform, you mean Renee. Every fucking morning, for 34 years, he grinds his teeth in rage, throwing that ball, one ball against another. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working-class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls play it like it was life itself. Click, clack. He makes the sound of balls connecting, across the water each day, and that uniform, like a parrot's plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race, a pentake? Maniac race traitor. Just nod. I remember him. He points to his black eye. I remember him from No save? Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens and thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. With a shaky finger, he points to the city towards the crater near the plaza where a lonely pine tree stands. That one. There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. There's no one there. Fat and plump like a pheasant. He does not hear you, just begging to be popped off. A grin stretches across his face. He says very softly, "Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me." You'd like to kill him? The smile lingers. Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth. Save the treat for later? The lieutenant asked cheerfully. He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day, the blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock Renee. For the boys he's killed, and then I look at him, throw those eyeball. Why? Eyeballs. Why could I not stop myself from saying eyeballs? Okay. And then I look at him, throw those balls, and I suddenly feel he lets out a wistful sigh. Better. I even hide one bullet, so I always have one for him. The lines on his face straighten as he looks inland. Haven't seen him there lately. Must be down with arthritis, old cunt. Glad we talked about this now. Is that it? You're under arrest. What? The old man's eyes fill with sudden, unexpected terror at the words. But you said I would be taken to the... Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You'll be given a legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand? But... Do you understand, sir? No, I don't want to. I have to stay here. He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror. He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Your confirmation is not required, sir. The lieutenant turns to you. Now on the boat. Let's try this, I guess. Cool. There it is again, to your north. It has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then in the middle of it, what? Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn across the strings of a violin. A very small violin of reeds and rushes. And then it's gone. Drowned by the lieutenant's voice. Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. Okay, so you're saying we can all fit in there? We should try first. There's a prisoner transfer protocol that requires 2. What are you talking about? Is this... The old man's voice drowns in a sudden gust of wind. Really us? Your skin crawls. It seemed like a different kind of music was going to start there for a second, but then it totally just disappeared. Whoa. What the fuck? Insulidian phasmid. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds. Huh, I'll have to go back and check to see if I could always see some of it. Limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence. What is that? Point to it. The old man looks at the reeds, then at you. What are you talking about? Ooh, don't come closer! I don't know what the hell that is. He looks confused. There's nothing there. Then the stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand raised instinctively. There it is. I see it. See what exactly? A bug? He does not understand. Kim, can you see it? I can see it. 4 simple words. Thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means... it's really there, spinning slowly in absolute silence. Its limbs long, its slender. Be very, very careful, the lieutenant whispers, then takes a step towards the giant arthropod. Can I talk to it? The creature stands on long, stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair. White and curled at the tips, it is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. This is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. Listen carefully. Tick, 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 hiss. Tick, 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 hiss. What is that?
I have absolutely no idea.
The lieutenant whispers back. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping, slowly, painstakingly slow. You glance over your shoulder. The man holds a piece of milled aluminum. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera. No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now. Are you sure that won't scare it off?
Need a photo. No one will believe us.
He continues to pull the lens open. From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the insect's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ears. Okay, take the picture. With the sound of metal sliding against metal, the lieutenant reveals the lens. The glass glints in his hand as he begins to slide in an ampoule. You see the insect turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
The ampoule will produce a loud hiss. You're right. It could scare it away. I need a better moment when it's not looking.
Okay. I'll wait. I'm on standby, he thinks, his hands sweaty around the machine. The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air slowly. Say something to the insect, quietly, like, hey. The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. It's incredibly light, like the slightest gust of wind should blow it away, but doesn't. I don't want to approach it. I want to save scam. Don't be afraid. Nothing changes in the cyclical. Right. That's so many C's is very confusing. Praying motion of the creature's limbs. They are porcelain white on the inside and reed colored on the out. Beige, light brown, and striped. You're unsure if it is cured or not. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning. Let's slowly retreat.
We can't just leave it standing there. We have to do something, detective. It could be connected somehow,
Alright, I'll try to approach it carefully, but dang. You barely get to take one step. The invertebrate reacts with uncanny speed, skating away across the water. It's gone, like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but rings on the sea's calm mirror. It's blending into the tufts of reeds in the distance, moving from islet to islet. Where did it go? The lieutenant has the camera in one hand and a slip of white paper in the other, developing. Yell no. Why would I do that? I think it went into the reeds there, on that islet, point north. The lieutenant squints where you're pointing. Looks like it doesn't like to stay out in the open for long. Tell me you got the picture. He shakes his head, in silence, an expression on his face you've never seen there before. What is he sad? Say nothing, swallow it. It's just a blur, he says, looking at the slip of paper in his hands. What now? What now? The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He's put his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black. Our suspect's not looking so good. We should check him over. Also, he points to the reeds. It looks like it has some kind of nest there. Maybe there's proof in there. In the reeds, there's where the phasmid was hiding. You see a little flash of white. Porcelain white. Oh. Here's a box. Oh, it's a helmet. And the rifle scope. Talk to Kim?
Yes?
Nothing.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him. Sir, how could you not see the phasmid? See, he stares at the reeds and falls silent. Mr. Dross? The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking. Touch his shoulder gently. The plastic cape feels very coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail. He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. I stuttered halfway through that. It sounded like I made up a new word. The lieutenant inspects him gently. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross? The trembling mouth appears to sigh. Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. What has happened to this man? Old age and shock. He looks at him, then you. I think it's the phasmid. Yes. The arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress, he looks at you. But you think it's something more than that, don't you? Quite a few things about that health check you did on him made sense now. He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company. He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe. He looks at his notebook. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all this. He shakes his head. This will one hell of a report. They'll think we're insane. You will have to be very convincing and very sober to make them believe that, sire. I burped. We found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross. He stares at the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should show him the detached scope. He turns his eyes to it. You lost it, Mr. Dross? He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes. He lost the scope, then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid, the lieutenant observes lens sparkle in your hand. The sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. It was attached to the rifle when you... Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot? Silence, not even a sigh. I'm gonna let you rest now, Mr. Dross. The plastic cape flaps around his face. In a gust of wind, his back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. Hang tight. We should think about getting back to the mainland to get help. He'll be safe here if we don't take too long. Well, one of us could go. We don't both have to go. Okay. I suspect nothing good will happen if we leave him here. But whatever. Oh boy. Guess we're almost done, huh? So much talking. I don't have any drink anymore. I drank it all. I drank all my tea. Out the door. I wonder why they changed the text. I'm really curious. Oh. Oh, this is the up there section that I was looking for before. The way to get up there, the stairs are gone. Okay. Satisfies my curiosity on that. Oop. Oh, lost the yellow. Whatever.
Yes.
Sorry. Come along, Kim. We're in a hurry. Let's return to the mainland. We're done here, he says, adjusting his glasses as he looks over the water. The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff. Who are we supposed to get help from? Should that be crossed off? Where's our lady gone? Oh, hello.
Look what the tide brought in.
Hi. Says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it's completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with the sunglasses from the Whirling of Rags. But where is his sunglasses? Is it? No one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant.
Nah, fuck you.
Fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Wasn't his hair much messier? And I thought it was blonde, too. Maybe I just totally made that up, though. Who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstamm.
Oh, why are you
We've
here?
met on several occasions.
One time. We met one time.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Mar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left
Oh,
of it.
this is all we've shown up with.
Special Consultant Trent Heidelstamm, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We have come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kinki Soragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later.
Yeah, it's suddenly regaining his
But
confidence.
This is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
She says warmly, flashing Kim the tiniest of smiles. Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you. What's this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
Shit kid. What an interesting moniker. What is a shit kid? You, shit kid. That's you. Maybe you've deserved it. How did you know I was here? The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Excuse me, I gave him a bird. Damn you, cafeteria manager. You've betrayed me for the last time. I understand. Okay, guard told you. And she looks around. People on the street helped us too, with your whereabouts. You aren't the man with the sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde. Oh, I was right. He was blonde. Guilty as charged. He exchanges a look with the special consultant. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me and everyone else to rely on. He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was. Maybe I hadn't been so sarcastic, I would have realized I knew you. I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to butter you up after you told us to fuck off. Okay, I had that coming. Had what coming? Not recognizing people you work with every day? He squints. Brain damage? What? Where have you been all this time? Where have we been? We've been fucking off, as far as I remember. He crosses his arms. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. You're detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die. Why didn't you detect or die then? Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow. You were crying when we got here, breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss, so we fucked off, he sighs, like you told us to. You mentioned a task force? Yeah, major crimes unit under Lieutenant Dubois and Viquamer? Ring any bells? Sorry, I totally butchered your name. Refresh my memory. Who else is in this unit? Oh, who else is in this? Okay. Refresh your memory. It's a goddamn major crimes unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tyrant fucking Hiddleston, and Guillaume Bevy. He stares at you. I'm technically just a civilian advisor. Fuck you, you're part of the shit show. Yeah, first, who's Guillaume Bevy? Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. He's not smiling. Guillaume Bevy is the police reporter who joined our team. He was really good, then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tyrant because I'm forcing him to stay. Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses? Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde with sunglasses, like you were? See? There, he wags his finger at you. You're getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me. I'm G. Bevy. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage, so not so much anymore. Okay, so what does the unit do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We're shit-tiered now, Harry, because of you. The 41 isn't, he trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. None of this is ringing any bells. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Tyrant, he turns to the blonde. This is where you come in. How bad is it? Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring. He can drive a boat. He's standing, reasoning, all good signs but completely retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pale, and so on. As displayed in the station call are interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, he makes air quotes, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting. Interesting. Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, he turns to you. What do you think happened to you, neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory? Sure, we'll go with this. Something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore, and it was a defense mechanism. Psychotraumatic amnesia. Tyrant, he looks to the special consultant. I can go for that. Shit Kid is a broken man, always has been. Who isn't? I know I am, but you know what? He turns back to you. I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic it gets. That doesn't happen. You're lying, or insane, or both. Well, you can. You can get amnesia from having so much trauma that you would die if you knew what it was. But Detective Viquamer, she interjects, he has blanked out before. I have? Yes, a couple of times, after some of the more serious benders. She pauses, remembering. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural. Interesting. So, at first he dipped his toes into it. Prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea. Yes, practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak. What do you mean? Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect. Look at the sensory input here. He gestures towards the scenery. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape. To borrow a known metaphor, Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market, he nods confidently. He just needed for it to end. Okay, Tyrant, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a Cretan now? I want to know that. He is not a Cretan, and he is able to do work, if not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective. What now? Now nothing. Now we're just gonna stand here. Just stand there. Yeah, just stand there. It's cool. Really? No! Now we discuss that. He points to the water. What the fuck did you do to our motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? I don't know. I don't know what it's doing there. I do. You drove it into the water. Everyone on the street saw you do it. It's going to be a local landmark, too. On the brochure. Thank you for fucking us, Harry. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property. That's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay till I die. I have 134 real. Here you go. You can have it. It doesn't matter. He exhales to calm his breathing. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. Why would I lie about not having it? Got my badge right here. Show it to them. In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. Okay, we'll try to catch it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Not today, badge. Behold, my badge! The man is unimpressed by the piece of plastic in your hand. And your gun? I'm on it. 24/7, I'm tracking it down right now. But you haven't because you're drunk. You lost your gun and you're drunk. You're drunk, gunless bum. I can smell it. I'm not drunk. I haven't started drinking again. So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then? He's wounded. He looks at you. It's been a long week and he's handled an actual corpse. Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad. A bit of a week, he squints. You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape a certain Classier because you were too drunk to assess her flight risk. We've read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsuragi's. We know. Not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led us to the island. Oh well, if she was nice, he rubs his face in frustration. I'm not even going to get into the other suspect, the one who shot herself in the head. Or the fact that you're Everett Claire's little peony now. Doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Don't damage my morale, you little witch. Compared to the 8 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was a fucking mass murder. He did everything he could, the lieutenant interrupts him. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at a considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Yeah, it was a massacre. We got wiped. Where the hell were you? Don't make this harder for yourself, he says in a lowered voice. Oh, sorry, Kim. But throw it back in his face. Yeah, where the hell were you, dick nugget? Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. He brushes a stray hair out of his eye and coughs. You spent the week with him on this case. What is your take? On the case? On Lieutenant Yefrader Dubois. Well, he pulls up his collar. The drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true, although he has not been drinking on the job this week. See? 1 week. Everybody starts somewhere, bitch. Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists he isn't charismatic. I tried. Enough. It's odd, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you know, a hustler. He pinches the root of his nose, grinds. He makes the real. He's a visionary and a money engineer, which is just, he shakes his head. And there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for, he breathes in sharply. But despite all this, he's a great detective, one of the best I've seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven, and he's solved it nearly perfectly. In 1 week, we have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who probably committed other murders over those years. He pauses. Oh, and he also discovered a new species. A colossal stick and insect, 3 meters tall, on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from them. I did not, unfortunately, get a photo, but I believe it may have been the Elysium phasmid. I know this sounds fantastic, but I am a 4 times decorated lieutenant of the RCM. I do not make up encounters with cryptids to spice up my day. I am very, very sane. I don't doubt you, Lieutenant. If you say it was the Elysium phasmid, then it was the Elysium phasmid. Boom shakalaka. Say nothing. I would like to say boom shakalaka, but I don't want to get chastised by Kim again. By God, is it somehow connected to the case? The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, the phasmid may have contributed to his mental state in some way over the years. So it is connected. We could order a search. I could get people from Epis on the island, entomologists, doctors. There must be sign of it in the reeds. We found the Elysium phasmid. Well, that'd be absolutely exceptional. The PR value alone. There, you need to make your case now. The floor is all yours. He prepared it well. Want to take this hot shit back? The previous head of the Debargers Union was assassinated by our killer. The lieutenant lowers his voice just a little. This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, and Martinez wherever, and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere. And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed. Understood, of course. The consulate, too, has lowered his voice. I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related for political neutrality. It has to be good stuff for them to backpedal out of it at first mention. Alright, I just want to move on. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? Don't mind me flapping my phone around. It makes me feel better. I don't know why. I put it down. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. He shrugs. So I have to. Jude? A quick nod. Anything that ends the trial is okay with me. Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go. Okay, he sighs. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Wait, a few questions before we go. About who I am. Oh, let's go. There's no time. I don't care. What? Oh. I want to... Okay, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now? Well, first I'll go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all this, and then I will have a serious talk with my captain. About what? He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of glasses. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening in Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, and investigate. You want to do that at Station 41? Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of 2 captains with my doom-mongering. No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41. Work with Bryce? A crooked smile quivers on his lips. I'm flattered, but I don't know if I... This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss. Flattered. You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered... Kim! Come be my best friend for life. The man turns very serious all of a sudden. I would have to tie things up and agree first, but, I mean, whatever's coming, Jamrock will be more central than the harbor. And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant, she says with a smile. Piles that we need to get back to, mountains even. I do like the sound of that. Recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi! That's the achievement I got. He returns her smile. Thanks, Kim. Love you. He's really considering it. Okay, I'm ready. Good, she looks at you. Then, Vicquimere? Fuck it, let's go. The man points down the street. Tyrant brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock. Under the noonday sky, the great district hums, a chessboard of wooden houses. 80,000 living souls in chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, the boogie street forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jerome, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dorson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstamm? No. Vicquimere? Yes. Dubois? Yes. What? Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's quite understandable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price points his pen at the door. What? What? It's dim in his office and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through, and when he does, he'll side with Revachol. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minot? Of course. Wonderful. The woman looks north. Now, can we please just go back to Jamrock now? What is this music? That is nothing like the music we've heard this whole game. Okay, so I guess it's over. I'm kind of sad we didn't get the ending that I personally wanted because I didn't want to bother go hunting down the cryptozoologist. But whatever. So that's that. Thank you everybody for coming out and playing with me. I had a ton of fun and I'll see you all next time. Enjoy the credits.